it's a given. Are you shocked?
I just don't...
Sorry, Carrie's mum. My apologies to Carrie's mum. All right, it's a given that Facebook knows a thing or two about us. But how do you feel about the social networking giant listening steady while you go about your private business at home?
Like you right now, Alistair is watching the project. He's also second screening on Facebook and just thought of something funny to share with his friends. This is where it gets a little creepy. The instant Alistair starts to type his status update, his Facebook app has taken control of his smart gadget's microphone, eavesdropping on whatever is happening in the room. Its stated goal, to learn what Alistair is watching or listening to. Now, this isn't a reality yet. However, in a few short weeks, this feature will start rolling out to US Facebook users.
Facebook's new listening option is basically just another way for Facebook to invade your privacy. It's just more knowledge about you that it can sell to advertisers and make money while giving you less privacy than ever.
Facebook has gone to great pains to point out that while they might be listening, they won't be recording and storing any actual sounds. So your conversations are safe. But they will be collecting data about whatever slice of pop culture you're consuming at any given time.
For Facebook, it's all about selling personal information. Their big sell is that they can sell advertising about things that people are really enthusiastic about, not just things they might be interested in.
While the new feature will be opt-in, it highlights that tech companies are always looking for new ways to track our behaviour.
Most users think of Facebook as just a convenient way to stay in touch with people, but it's not. It's a giant advertising platform, and it exists to advertise to you based on finding out as much about you as it can.
For Facebook's 1.2 billion users, the idea of Facebook listening in while we go about our private business might dredge up some old trust issues. After all, it was just last year that Facebook was implicated as one of the companies working with US spy agency the NSA in a massive global public surveillance program. So has the social media giant done enough to earn back our trust? Can we really be sure that our privacy will be protected?
And when we want to talk about trust in the internet, we talk to techspert Stilgherrian. Still, take us through this Facebook. They say they're not going to record anything. How does this work?
Well, what they're saying is that the app on your smartphone will have a brief listen to the sound around it. It'll take a fingerprint of the music or TV program, send that little fingerprint down to their servers and match it against what they've got on file. So they can say, OK, we know that that sound is Duran Duran.
So still, how do we trust anyone who's listening to us?
Look, I wouldn't trust Facebook personally as far as I could spit a cow. But once you get into this thin end of the wedge and get people used to the idea that their phone can be listening to things, you know, it's the boiling frog effect. We'll get used to it and they'll just slowly ratchet it up.
Is it really that big a deal still? Because doesn't everyone on Facebook want to share everything with everyone in the world all the time anyway?
Yeah, and that's pretty much the problem with the modern world, isn't it? And it means that people get used to the idea of spreading out this information. We really don't know what the long-term issues might be. We don't know what kind of profiles of our lives could be built up. We do know, for example, that you can tell someone's political voting patterns by their music.
But as Joe was saying today, that what you put in your status update, you know, oh, life's amazing, isn't actually how you feel. So you're sitting there crying to Enya while you're going, life's amazing.
Life is bad when you've got Enya.
Exactly. And then it'll think you're an Enya fan and that, you know.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, if you want to tell your friends that you're watching Game of Thrones, just say so. Are we really that lazy that we need a machine to figure that out for us?
All right, thanks, Still, so much.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, just work on the basis that someone's watching all the time. I think no private moment. Sorry, what's that rate? What happens to greyhounds when they stop racing? I'm glad you asked.